But no, but like honestly, right? It's like this is just proof. Like someone can go on TV, on Top Chef, and cook corn soup, and win. Cook steamed fish and win. Like bow. You know what I mean? These kind of things that just mean something to a lot of us, and can represent. I'm like, it would be a shame to not see that. I think it'd be a shame to not see, like everything that has kind of transpired and the excitement around it, like that's all part of that journey. And so I think we have so much to celebrate. And I think, again, I don't know we didn't get $250,000, but I think in that journey, it's about representing the community, it's representing the people and everyone that made this journey possible for me, like to be able to represent that and put that out there. It's been amazing. So I just want to say thank you so much. And I think for so many folks here, like y'all know who you are, but like a lot of you have known me before I was a chef. And I think just to be able to sit up here and experience this is like, I tell this story all the time, but like when they reached out to do Top Chef, I was like, no, right? Like, this is stupid, right? Like, nobody watches Top Chef anymore. Like, apparently that's not true. So, yeah. So, but yeah, right. You're welcome, Top Chef. No. But honestly, Rari was the reason. She was like, no, you got to do it. Because Evo was 16 months old, 18 months old when I went away to film. And it's funny, like, a lot of the chefs here, y'all helped me practice. I was like, there's a secret, I'm going on Top Chef. And I got to practice some stuff. So like Val literally just came up to me and was like, I saw that tweel on that dessert. She's a former pastry chef at Grill 23, like Vio's here, Pete's here, Ted, like everyone like helped me in so many ways. My dad's right here, aunt, uncle, fam, community folks, like, huh? Who's that guy? I don't know. Oh, Aaron Tanaka? Yeah, Aaron Tanaka's here. Shout out Aaron, he was my, yeah. If y'all don't know Aaron Tanaka, he's doing my Instagram live right now, but beyond that, Aaron Tanaka has watched every episode of every season of Top Chef, and he lost his shit when I said I was gonna go on Top Chef. And beyond that, he helped me create this Excel document that has like 85 tabs about how we're gonna do well on Top Chef. And every step of the way, like Aaron's just been there, best friend. He's been there all the way. And so like everyone and oh yeah, and sorry, let me finish that story. But Rari was the one that was like, Evo was 18 months old, and I was like, there's no way we can do this, right? But she was like, nah, like you gotta do this. And so having the opportunity, like she was essentially like, not every chef gets to do this. If you get casted, like you gotta do this. It's you can't be like, no, it's not even up to me anymore. It's like, it's our responsibility. And so, she held down the fort. She was a single mom for like 2 months.
2 months.
Pretty much. No, but that's, Evo had like hand, foot, and mouth during, it was terrible. But I saw.
Fast forward.
Yeah, no, yeah. But, yeah, it was tough. But I think, and it was crazy. When they brought her on, I was like, they flew her from Switzerland to come to North Carolina. We're in Charlotte together. Yeah. So that's all. But thank you. I think this is really, it means a lot to me, and I think we have a lot to celebrate. I think this is, honestly, I know this could sound corny, but like this and the wrap up of everything, it's a relief to not have to hold in any more secrets. Everyone who came in Roboto was like, blink twice if you won. I'm like, sorry. My bad. And so thank you. So I think this is, honestly, it's just the beginning. I think there's a lot to come. And we got some things in the works. We got a lot of ideas, starting with some pop-ups. Pete, I'm gonna go to La Madeleine in July. And is Boone here? We're gonna try and go to Marai. We're gonna try and do some restaurants around, and we're gonna do this finale meal.
Come to Austin,
And we're gonna
Texas!
Austin, Texas. We're gonna go to Austin, Texas. Yeah. But thank you everybody so much for being here. We're gonna do a little Q&A to answer any questions. If y'all gotta go. It's so late for me too. I wake up at like 5 a.m. to make bao. I'm like, Bravo, can you air it earlier? But yeah, if y'all gotta go. There's also more drinks downstairs. You can buy more drinks and food. But this is Jess Coughlin. She's been, first and foremost, Jess is a super fan of Top Chef, but she's also been working as our publicist and doing an amazing job.
It's an honor.
Through this season. So Jess is here to hang out and do some Q&A with us today.
Yeah, thanks everyone. If you do have to sneak out, no worries, we know it's late. Can we just give a hand for the Hong Kong and Paul, our incredible host here? Yes. This incredible restaurant and venue has been a historic institution in Harvard Square for decades. When did it open, Paul? Unbelievable. Yeah, so I bet my dad got drunk here, many years ago, and I'm so grateful that we're here to celebrate tonight. So
while we're doing shout-outs,
please.
Courtney Moy, is she still downstairs?
Yeah.
Courtney!
Courtney!
Courtney Moy, if you can hear us!
Thank you for the drinks! Incredible.
All the drinks, that's her. And then shout-out, we got Gabe back here.
Yeah.
Doing all the tech. Our babies are in the same class, and he's like, there's no way you're just gonna Zoom this, right? And I'm like, sorry, man, yes, we
Gabe,
are.
are we on YouTube for the people that we kicked off the live stream? Because
The
maybe.
stream is back up right now, and they're
Incredible.
take some Q&A.
Thanks for sticking with us, guys. So if anyone has questions, please feel free to raise your hand and shout it out. This man right here, first one.
All right, Lauren. I love you, Ferrari.
Hi, Brandon. Love you too.
So what was your progression through the first recipes that you started cooking through the last one? Because I think you said you were doing a little bit more Mediterranean at first.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of go to the more Asian inspired. What happened or what was the progression?
Great question.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I mean, I only cooked ever professionally in Turkish kitchens. And so that was where I learned a lot of technique, a lot of things that were validated, essentially. It was things that were proven that work, that you're like, oh, I can sell this for money in a really good restaurant. And honestly, a lot of the Chinese stuff I've cooked, I haven't done that. At Roboto, we don't do a lot of the food that I made on here. So it's kind of scary to go on TV and be like, here, Tom Colicchio, here's something I've never made before. And it's super Chinese. Do you like it? And there is something intimidating about that. But I think by the second or third episode, I think the reality of maybe I'm gonna be eliminated. Pretty early on, I'm like, maybe this will happen. And I think that in itself triggered, oh, you all right?
He's good. He's a member of the media. He's fine. Anything to get the shot.
It's to get anything for the shot. Yeah.
Hey, Lawrence, if you don't mind, would you repeat the question for the people on stream? They
Oh,
have
yeah.
a chance to hear.
Thank you.
So the question was the kind of thought process from Mediterranean to Chinese, and kind of how the progression of what I decided to cook, how that went. I think when the reality of maybe I'm going to be eliminated, I think the idea of the journey really mattered a lot more, where it was okay, no matter where I land, whether it's Top Chef or the third one out, I'm we just have to do this. We have to put out what I want to be putting out there in the world, and not just trying to appease the judges, not trying to, trying to show off and show technique and stuff. But I'm I'm just gonna cook Chinese food. And it didn't always work out in that way. It wasn't always oh, this fits right here. But I think it was always challenge first. But then I was you know what? I think it was the second episode. I was I'm gonna make a Yu Sheng eggplant. And they're this is so good. I was oh, cool, you're into that. You're probably into bao too then, And they're you like steamed fish? And so I think it felt better and better. And I mean, as we kind of went on and they're yo, this is good. I'm all right, I think we found what, and you see folks like Rhoda and Sherry, they kind of clicked into their own culture identity a bit later in their journey. But I think in the beginning, I was like, this is actually the most important thing like that we could be doing. So.
And Lawrence, did you have a favorite dish, a couple of standouts of all of these challenges that you were particularly proud of?
Yeah, I mean, I think the steamed fish, I think that was a win that like felt really good. One, because it was like, it starts from like my dad used to make it at home, my mom, you know, like that was like a classic Cantonese dish that everyone knows. If there's any like Canto folks, or not even Canto folks, but like folks who grew up Canto adjacent, like this was a dish you knew. And, you know, I think to be able to be on like Top Chef and be like, yo, I'm gonna make this dish, like that was crazy. And so, and then it was the first thing I ever cooked for Rory. And I think because of that, that was like before I was ever a chef, and that's the only thing I knew how to make. I was like, here. I cook all the time, totally.
And we had a question from one of our YouTube viewers named Jessica about the dishes that you
This
cooked for
Jessica?
Rory. Nope,
Oh.
different Jessica.
I was like,
There's a lot of
yeah,
us out there.
yeah.
The broken birthday cake. The question from Jessica on YouTube was that inspired by Chinese bakery flavor profiles?
Yeah, absolutely. It was essentially, lack of better word, but deconstructed. Oh, that's why I didn't win. No, I'm kidding. It was essentially, it was all the different elements, but like different pieces. So it was like, you know, a more like, I would say like elegantly poached like nectarine. The sponge cake was super traditional, and then the idea was to kind of like break it apart, but when you take everything together, it kind of forms this really beautiful thing. And it was like an ode to, what's up?
Oh, sorry. There's another question from the audience.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
But this was like a nod to Rory because it was like we missed during the taping. She was at home dealing with like hand, foot, and mouth, and which for those who don't know, it's like really bad, and it's like an infection.
Super appetizing.
Yeah. It's called hand, foot, mouth. You know. So, but we missed her birthday and anniversary. And it was like the reality of all kind of just hit, and so this was something that was like, sucks, but when you put it all together, it's great, you know, yeah.
And what's the question right back there?
Hey, Lawrence.
Hi.
Also a lifelong like Top Chef super fan, so this is kind of like a deep cut question.
Yeah.
Like it was clear that you had prepared and like you had studied and trained. Were there any challenges that you were either like, yes, I'm ready to take this on because I practiced, or you were like, oh shit, I was not expecting this. I was, for example, like the mise en place is like a classic Top Chef quickfire.
Yeah. Well, I sat out that
Wait,
one.
and quickly for the people on YouTube to restate the question.
Oh, yes.
Since you prepped
Yeah.
and Aaron prepared you with the spreadsheet, were there any challenges that you really felt prepared for because you did your homework? And were there some that you were like, oh,
Yeah. A mix of everything. I think challenges that I felt really, I mean, that fish one, when we're going fish, I was like, first off, I'm probably not gonna catch any fish. I'm like, what are we doing, guys? What are we doing? Like, can you just give them to me now? Like, are we done with this bit? Like, no, it was fun. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Fishing was cool. It was fun. It was all these experiences were actually really cool. But like the fish one, for example, it was kind of like there's only one dish I was gonna make. Like, there's no way that I'm like trying to be on my Canto like journey and be like, you give me a sea bass and I'm not gonna steam it. Like, come on. So like that kind of was like, and it was a very open like prompt. It was like, here's a piece of fish, do something with it, or here's a live fish, kill it, and then do something with it. But that was a much more straightforward one. Like whole hog, for example, that was like, I mean, Aaron and I talked about it, and that was like the one thing that we're like, I think you had brought it up, and you're like, oh, maybe we should practice it. And I was like, dude, there's no way they're gonna film for 24 hours. There's no way. It's just not. Yeah. It's not feasible. All right. I know the production business, and so it was like, yeah, it was like halfway in, they're like, we're gonna do whole hog. I'm like, oh, good. And I was like, I hope someone is gonna help me. And you know, we didn't really know what but I think that was another one. And then that one I had the loin, and that's just not like something that we really cook. So that was another challenge I was really proud of because I was just like that was just chefing my way out of it. You know what I mean? Just trying to be like, I was in my notebook all night, and I was just like, all right, what are we gonna do with this loin to make it really good? And honestly, the goal was not to get eliminated. That's really what it was. And then to do well on that one was really nice. So it was a mix of all that. So that was like an oh shit moment, but you know. Yeah.
And then Lawrence had the fun of recreating that challenge at the restaurant with my husband, who's a pitmaster, who's somewhere around here.
Shout out Anthony.
Shout out to Anthony Piccirilli. Lawrence and Anthony stayed up for 30 hours.
Yeah, we didn't film it this time. Yeah.
No, but it was delicious.
Yeah.
Lawrence, what? Oh. No, yeah, let's.
Sorry, got a question from
Please.
YouTube. It's me.
Yeah.
It's Rory's
got the air traffic control.
DJ Rory.
Jim Solomon 7126 asked, first Chopped, then Top Chef, then you beat Bobby Flay. What show would you want to do next?
Ooh.
Oh.
Or are you done with TV altogether?
I never want to do
I mean, the camera loves you, Lawrence.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, all right. So the question was, what show would I do next? It's kind of, I don't know. It's been pretty organic. Like Chopped reached out, and that was the one show I was like, I would do Chopped. We were excited for that. We did it. 24 and 24 reached out, and I was like, no, right? And I always show Rory. I'm like, I show her the DM. I'm like, no, right? And she's like, is there money involved? Is there, you know? and then I end up doing it. She's like, yeah, go for it. I was like, all right, fine, I'll do it. And then Bobby Flay. Actually, Bobby Flay was taped way before Top Chef, by the way. They just released it around, but it was like same thing. I was like, Bobby Flay? I'm like, that's kind of lame, but is this live? I'm kidding. I mean, Bobby Flay, awesome. yeah, there you go. Yeah. And I won that one, so I should be more. But, you know, I think each one reached out, and I was kind of like, no, right? And then Rory convinced me to do it. And then it's been really organic, and I think it's felt really good. So I think whatever show reaches out next, we'll see. But I would say the one show that I feel like I couldn't say no to is probably Tournament of Champions. Where's the camera? Tournament of Champions.
Lawrence, tell us a little bit about your bestie. I mean, obviously it's a very close crew here and very familial, like lovely team environment. But who were some of your besties on the show, and who was your favorite judge?
Oh, all right. I mean, y'all know Anthony's my boy. I mean, it was funny when we first started to hang out more. It was when we were doing that bit that like they call it morning reality, and so you do like reality TV, and so they're like, can we get you painting your little guys? And I'm like, first off, they're called miniatures, all right? And yes, I would love to. And they're like, okay, we're gonna get you painting it, and then something's gonna happen. And I'm like, that's weird, let's do it. And then a knock comes on the door, and I was like, yes. It's Anthony. He's like, hey, man. This is my Anthony. He's like, hey, man, you like Warcraft 3? And I'm like, yes. And then I think Top Chef, they're not that nerdy, so they conflated Warcraft 3 and Warhammer 40,000. And we just started having this conversation about Warcraft and Warhammer while I'm like painting Warhammer. But I think it was.
What if you have no idea what you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, most people probably don't, but it's all flavors of nerdom that don't necessarily overlap, but it's close enough that we're good friends now. So Anthony's definitely one of them. Unfortunately, I was close to Rhoda as well. And I was like, why are you back from Last Chance Kitchen? Get out of here.
She earned it, though.
She was so good. No, Rhoda was so good. So we were close. Dwen, I mean, all the Asian crew.
Of course.
Yeah. But honestly, like, all of us are still really close.
Awesome.
Like, everyone is, I mean, I'll be honest, even, like, everyone was kind of messaging me about Seeger. They're like, oh, my God, like, tell me about Seeger. I'll crash out. And at the same time, I was like messaging Seeger, being like, yo, you good? Like, because he was getting a lot of hate, and he was getting a lot of, like, he got like a threat to his, I mean, whatever. But it was pretty bad. So I feel for him, but we're all friends. We have a chat group, and we hang out.
And how about the judges?
Judges, Chris and Kish. Right? I think when anyone who I told I was going on Top Chef, that was like the first question, like, oh my God, are you gonna meet Chris and Kish? I'm like, unless this is Top Chef Canada, like, I think so.
And
Oh,
she's
yeah.
she's that cool in real life, right?
I mean, all the judges exactly who they are
Great.
on TV in real life. Like Tom, maybe a little bit more chill. He's not as like yeah. They had me do an impersonation of Tom at some point. They didn't show it, but I hope it comes out at some point. It was pretty good. I don't think I could. I don't think I could. It was a moment thing, and I thought it was just I killed it in the moment. I think, but
Okay.
I don't think I could. Yeah.
Does anyone else have any questions from the audience or from YouTube? My man.
Did you get to taste other dishes? Like, who is your favorite chef?
Yeah, the question
wow,
is, did you get to
that's-
taste all the other dishes, and who was your favorite chef?
Yeah.
Other than yourself.
Favorite chef is hard to say. I mean, I think the point of view mattered a lot. So I think like different chefs have very different point of views and it changed because you do learn a lot about yourself through the journey. It's like a lot more intense than people think. Like we watch it every week, but I think people actually grow a lot. Like I grew a lot and like dug deeper and deeper into like, you know, what I want to do on the show. The one person I would say that I cook next, it all depends. Like, you don't get to like taste everybody's. Like it's not like all the plates go unless like you had the luxury of time to be like, I made 3 extra plates. Like whole hog, we tasted a lot more because we had so much time. But usually, you know, it's not. We don't have time for it. But I cook next to Sherry a lot through the season. Like it was always, I didn't even realize until we watched it. I was like, oh, I was cooking a lot with Sherry. So we tasted a lot of each other's mise en place. So she'd be like, you know, Sherry's always in her head. So she's like, the sauce is, it's like the best sauce ever, right? And I'm like, Sherry's the best sauce ever. Like, you got it, Sherry. And her cooking was immaculate. It was always good. It was like always on point. Like I don't think I tasted anything from her where I was like, ooh, that needs some work. Like she was incredible. Like Sherry, her food was like to the T meticulous, and she was so good.
Incredible.
Yeah. Was there a?
I have a question here from YouTube. David YouTube Ho.
Hey, David.
That was the question. No, sorry.
This is oh damn.
Were there any funny, unexpected, or memorable behind-the-scenes moments during filming that didn't make it onto TV?
Oh, there's a lot. I mean, I don't.
They didn't let you guys drink a lot, but I mean, you don't drink.
I
but in
don't
general, like
drink.
there wasn't that many shenanigans.
There
going on,
wasn't.
right?
Yeah, I think Top Chef through the seasons have adapted
They cut
from
it
what I
down.
heard
Yep.
about the earlier seasons. But no, we weren't. We were allowed. I think the limit was like 3 drinks or something like that. Not all the chefs followed that, but I won't say who. But I don't know. If there like there's a lot of time we spent together that was not like even filmed or on camera. Like it was just the interesting kind of things that people got. Like puzzling was a huge thing because we don't get Wi-Fi, we don't get computers, they take away our phones, we don't get TV, we don't have any of that stuff. So it's like everything's analog. Yeah. And so like you're hanging out with each other and you're like reading books and doing puzzles.
But didn't you say you did no puzzling? Didn't you say you like stared at a wall and thought about your strategy?
It was, yes, because
Crazy, Lawrence.
I brought these miniatures. I didn't paint anything. I only painted, literally all I painted was what was on camera.
Right.
And I was just kind of like, yeah, Anthony, Warcraft is awesome.
But you did do some journaling, didn't you?
I did a
You
lot
had
of
a little
journaling.
diary.
I had a diary.
Tell us about your diary.
Yes, there you go.
I'm
David
teeing you up to
YouTube.
talk about how much you love your wife.
This is the answer for David YouTube Ho. For me, they didn't catch that much, but the journal was huge. I wrote to Rari every day. I know I'm just gonna be like, oh, I love my wife. Oh, I get it, but I think writing to Rari was actually really important every day. It was, I think, being isolated from her, from Evo, like the family. It was just like we always like debrief together and like we'll just like decompress, talk about our days and stuff when we've had hard days. And so like not having her there after like days and days and days of competition, like you wake up every day and you're like, they literally don't tell you anything. So they're like, we're gonna go to location. You should bring clothes for anything. And you're like, what? They're like, yeah, it might rain, but it's also super hot and you'll be in the woods. But are you cooking? I don't know. So I'm like, what is, like,
That's a
literally,
wardrobe.
yeah. And you're like, all right, I'll wear this. So sometimes the outfits don't match like the situation and you're like, thanks. Like one day they're like, you can wear your hat. And then I didn't do my hair. And then they're like, you can't wear your hat because you're outside. I was like, what? Ah! But okay, sorry, that was. But I wrote to her every day because it's hard, and I think it helped me process that journey, and I think make it really worthwhile to kind of be in that journey and not just be like, okay, if we don't win, we don't get anything. Like it's more about let's go through this and do this the right way.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it was kind of this like one-way talk that I had with Rory. So very important. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, we'll wrap up soon because we know it's late. But does anyone else have any burning questions? Yes.
Here, you can say it right to the mic. Pass it over.
So, well, I was really surprised how you were able to win with, I mean, how faithful you were to Canto cooking. So, but when you envision these, I mean, you know, typical Cantonese dishes, how did you, I mean, think about elevating them so you thought they could win in Top Chef?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. The question was around elevating traditional Cantonese dishes, so we can try and win Top Chef. I think that's something that's like I've thought and put a lot of work into, because I think that's the biggest question is like, how do you honor tradition, but do something that feels authentically new? And I think a lot of it is around, like, it's different ways that I think you can approach it. Sometimes technique. So it's just like, how do you make, like, what makes Tasiu? Tasiu, for all, like, let's take bao, for example. What makes bao good? And you're like, oh, it has to be light and fluffy and warm. And then when you open it, you want to get filling in the first bite, not the third bite. And you want to actually, as you eat it, you want a perfectly round edge with perfectly, like, distributed filling, right? These are things that you're like, that's the ideal bao. Then you're like, okay, how do you make that, right? And then charge whatever you need to charge for it, right, at a restaurant. And that's like what we do at Roboto, right? So it's kind of like, you know, I remember when we started wrapping bao, they're like, you're gonna put this much in there? I'm like, yeah. They're like, it's too much. I'm like, nah. And you know, so I think it's thinking about those details. And then it's kind of like even in, so I'll keep going with the bao, but like you think about Tasiu bao, the barbecue pork one, it's like what makes that distinctly Tasiu? And you're like, okay, it's not the food coloring, right? But it's okay, you have like the different sauces that make it, so you use that, you balance it so it's perfectly balanced, but you don't change any of the sauces. You're not trying to do anything. But then you're like, okay, with the onions, you're like, how do you make more intense onion flavor? So like then you take technique from other places that I've worked and you say, okay, you caramelize it. And the sweetness, the umami from that matches that a lot. So it's like what you wouldn't do traditionally with Chinese food is you have a wok, right? Normally you like fry the onions, you get like quick and heavy like kind of coloring on it. But I'm like, if you caramelize it, the flavors like and the sugars come out and all that kind of stuff. And so like that's the level of kind of like thinking for me at least, where it's like that's how you get to another place where it's like it's Cantonese steamed fish. When you eat it, it tastes like it. But there's something about it that makes it somehow better, and it's like, okay, so how do you cook it right? You know, like all those kind of things. So I don't know. I think every dish is different, but I think you kind of have to just figure out how to. It's not. I don't call it like elevating, but it's how do you dig deeper, and how do you find what makes something good and just. Yes, and yeah, sometimes. So like sometimes it wasn't even intentional. Like I'll use the example of like the yushang eggplant. Traditional yushang eggplant is like dried cured mackerel, and that's the fish flavor that they put into it. I'm like, you're not getting that at Whole Foods, you know what I mean? So like, you're like, what are you gonna do? So it's anchovies, you know what I mean? And so I think that's how you kind of, it naturally happens because you're like, okay, this and this and this. But I was very intentional in trying to be very disciplined around not trying to be like, this is fusion food, like, you know, and like, this is Cantonese, but I use this. I did use gochujang once because you can't find doubanjiang, and that's like the closest thing. So like, you know what I mean? So I think that's like, but I wasn't like, this is a gochujang, like braised eggplant, you know, like, so I think that's the kind of stuff that you'll see.
So kind of building on that, and just as a final question to wrap it all up, I wonder if you have anything to say to your parents after this whole experience. You know, your mother's not here tonight; she's home with your son.
Yeah.
Wonder if your dad has any thoughts. But what does this mean to your family?
I think I would say, Baba, thank you for You know, I think really when people ask me about where it starts, I always say it's like we grew up in it. And I think not everyone has the privilege of growing up around food, but also culture. And I think you and Mama were very intentional about putting me into that. And whether it's community and all those references I had to dim sum, and these are all created memories that I think you and Mama put me in, and it wasn't just like coincidence, or whether it was intentional or not. You know, I think it was very important, and I think now it's coming back in different ways, and in really meaningful ways, and has shaped my kind of life and career, and what I want to put out there in the world in a lot of ways. So thank you for that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Hometown hero, Lawrence Louis. Yeah.
If y'all want any last minute drinks or food, you can go downstairs. We can hang out a little bit there too.
Great.
Thank you, everybody.